We are live. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to another edition of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. The scene we find us, well, a little bit more advanced in time. Several minutes have gone ahead and gone down from the incursion with the weaver spiders within the Sept of the Green. The hunters of the lost, Cinna, Rin and Guntori have not left that spot quite yet in all that time. They have been mostly worrying and fussing over the Silverfang, who seems very much curled up in her own fur ball, uh, much fainted, much exhausted from the previous activities, the previous scene in which she was fighting for her dear life. Uh, Not being able to fell the spider before her, being calcified, and suffering through a nigh immeasurable existence where time and space meant nothing, and having a consciousness like that so tightly wrapped up within the Weaver's webs, well, where is her mind? We will never know. But her body, at least, is physically with us. Begin the scene.
Was Senna asleep or just sitting there being sad?
Very much unconscious.
Okay. So Ren will be sitting next to the snoozing form of her packmate. Just sitting and listening to the birds. She's shifted back into Hamid.
All the birds, everywhere. They are singing, they're on your head, they're everywhere. Because yes, being Keeper of the Lands has its perks.
Oh, if the perks are birds, Ren will take them.
Yes.
Especially after that several success harmony flute fun time.
Yep. So, how are we doing outside of obvious questions?
She looks up and then she glances at Senna to make sure Senna's still out. One hand reaches down to just kind of gently run its knuckles through Senna's fur. I don't remember.
Well, you know how you are doing generally talks about an emotional state. You know, in case you forgot.
Just the obvious things.
Mm.
Do you know a spirit that could change my face?
Change your face?
Yeah.
For what?
Could give me a new look. Make me look different. Permanently.
That would require a fetish.
Not permanent then, just...
Unless I throw you into the flux realm, but I don't think that you want that.
Well, let's not take any options off the table quite yet.
Yes, except that that realm doesn't guarantee that you're going to come back as you are. You could come back as a chair.
Ren would make a very nice chair, but she doesn't say so. As the vampire STs have discussed at length.
Or that, unfortunately, the spirits, they may grant you perhaps a different appearance, but modification of oneself, such as that is. I'm not saying that there is no gift that exists, but I can't give you a straight answer. The only answer that I can give you is that, yes, definitely a fetish will make things way more easier.
There seems to be a quite obvious clock, 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 or thud, thud, thud of footfalls and footsteps coming from, well, a more open area. You know, there are a few tree spirits here and there. This one is obviously coming from the more open meadow. And if you take a look, there's Lucas right there, trying not to be an invisible jackass.
Ren is so proud of him. She raises a hand to offer him a greeting. The other hand is still probably not touching Cinna, probably just sitting in her lap.
Lucas goes ahead and approaches, Kagi stick in hand, raises his hand, looks at the hunters and simply says, so that was a bit of excitement.
Nice bite.
Oh yeah. He goes ahead and beams at that particular comment and shakes his head. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I made the advantageous idea of sending the spider back where it belongs. But clearly, she was under the influence of someone else. The spider wouldn't have gone to us like this.
I didn't smell any worm taint on the other one, on the body.
It doesn't need to be worm tainted.
No, I know. Just.
No, probably a spirit talker.
So what you're saying, Gatori, is one scenario, at least one theory, is that a spirit talker went ahead and got in touch with these two spiders and sent them here?
Yes. For when I command the spider to be gone and never return to this place, it actually said that it was, well, sorry, kind of. That basically it didn't knew why it would have gone off the trail. They are pattern spiders. Pattern spiders follow patterns. There is no pattern here. So yes, one gave them the order to come at us. Now, the question would be why? Because clearly, two pattern spiders, they can do some damage, but nothing substantial.
They can certainly be a distraction. Do you think that they were out here to provide one, or do you think they were strictly here to gain some sort of information?
If they were here to give information, I would have expected the one to send them to actually know what he was doing. Because the protection of the sept would have been set off, which they have.
So, theories, ideas, wild rantings?
Maybe they were here to test us. We're weak. At the moment, we're weak. Says Cinna as she slowly opens her eyes.
Hey. How you feeling?
Like I've been hit by a bus.
Yeah.
So, have you talked with our new resident as he speaks to Lucas?
He goes ahead and puts his two thumbs together and sort of flaps his fingers.
Uh-huh. So what?
Edward the Corax? Yeah, madam.
No, not that one.
Hmm.
I'm talking
You're.
about the new ancestor that resides within a certain Piana Galliard.
Oh, you mean Thomas?
Is
Yes.
that what happened?
Yeah, he's a bit sideways.
Hmm.
Hmm.
From what I gather, he's like, I don't know, at least a few centuries removed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much all I know.
I see.
Toys were more concerned about taking him where he would be able to do less damage.
Hmm. Let him be in the Fianna Castle. Probably talk with Chases the Storm.
Hmm.
That way he won't have to deal with Nicholas or you as he turns to Ren.
I'll say this much. In all the time that he's been here, this is the first instance that I know of somebody else taking over control of Adam's body.
Hmm.
I mean, otherwise, well, she's an all right cub.
Hmm. When he suffers of the same problem that I do.
So what does that mean?
It means that everyone is going to be on the watch now. Because I'm not the only crazy person here anymore.
Far from it.
Far, far from it.
Sina looks away.
What do you make of it, Katori? What do we need to do going forward from this?
Well, I would hope that the new water would start to move and actually do something. That would be a change.
Contemplates the mercy, right?
Yup.
All right.
He's been
Has
talking to
he
the
started
Guardians.
organizing anybody? Has he taken up the old Guardian Corps? He says more to the group than anybody else.
He started talking to the Guardians. I've had a short conversation with him, maybe 10 minutes. After that, I've not heard anything anymore. But there aren't that many Guardians around at the moment.
He should add Chino and Eric. The Guardians currently are, no offense, but they're made of ragabashes.
Yes, I know.
Hey, I resembled that remark.
There are
Well-
3 Ragabashes, and one, Sina frowns, tries to collect her thoughts, Philodox in there.
Yes, well,
That's
Olaf. Olaf
Yes.
can count as a warrior, but
But he's not on the Sept at the moment.
exactly.
Bogan is around, but that's it.
But he's
Don't
master
see
of
him.
challenge now.
And Gareth, I've not heard for some time from, except through our communications.
He must be coping with the fact that his tribe mate have left him.
Yeah. I guess. So
But
it's me.
yeah, which isn't acceptable. You cannot
Well,
do the
I'm
work alone.
trying to guard as much as I can.
And you're doing a great job, but you cannot do this job alone. Yes, Ren, is there something that you would like to hide with this role?
That was when they started talking about Garrett's packmate.
Yes. You what? It's a
Don't
manipulation subterfuge.
don't make me roll, please no.
She's making us roll.
Yes, yes, please. Well, at least me, I don't see.
Haha. If
But
attempted
you,
counts, I have 6 successes.
Jesus Christ.
yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Interpersonal psychology, I'm gonna say totally counts because it's two different people.
Well, for everybody who's not Katori, Ren flinches visibly.
Gotcha.
Despite her best efforts.
Sorry.
No, don't be.
It's Ragabash. Spotting things is kind of our thing, you know?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Suna
Have you
kind of
mentioned
points up her nose to Ren at that point, but she doesn't say anything. She just bobs her arm a little.
Have you mentioned the lack to the new warder?
We've talked about Chino and Eric. Garrett said that he was planning to ask him. I just don't know much he can do right now. It has been mentioned with the warder there in the communication that we have set up amongst ourselves, working through texts and such. I guess at this point I don't even care anymore. I can ask him myself if need be. I can't do this much longer. I've been running around for 3 days, and I've maybe slept 4 hours altogether.
Oh no,
Then,
no, don't do that.
then
It might
you
be
are
time
going.
to go ahead and temporarily double up on some duties for those people who already have positions, or start to reach out to those who do not have positions and say, "Put up or shut up."
I mean, at least these two were sensed, but they weren't even sensed by me. I was completely on the other side.
Keep
I
in
mean,
mind the keepers also patrol. Our rounds are very different, but
maybe we need to. Tori, I know you are listening in with our conversations and offer advice. Maybe we should have one of the guardians do the same to keep the keepers and the guardians connected even more.
Yes, but I am going to put my paw down on this. You're gonna stop patrolling now, and you're going to get some rest.
There is no one else, Katori. Well,
I'm
I
probably, I
willing to
don't
go
suspect,
ahead and
care.
pick up the slack, he
I
says rather
suspect Logan is there,
dejectedly.
but
I don't care. I'm going to push Garrett to do it.
please don't. Not on my behalf.
what did Lucas say?
He probably said underneath all the murmur, probably a lot softer than he meant to, and is rather dejected and reluctant, saying, "I'll go ahead and do it."
He gets a look from a Ren that is made of fire. Like, there's fire and judgment.
Whoa.
It's short, but for just a second.
I'll see if I can talk to Eric and Chino then. I don't give a crap about the warner. If he has a problem with it, he can call me later. I'll see if they have interest.
It's not a question of being interested. It's a question that the sept needs to be protected. There are runes. I will tell Chino that he has to be a guardian. That is final. And if contemplates has something to do with it, then he can tell it to my face.
Be careful, Katori.
I was gonna say, there's no point in arguing amongst ourselves. We should come with solutions, not accusations.
It is not a point of accusation. It is the fact that we are currently in a very particular situation, and you can't do it alone. As much fierce as you are, and much brave as you are, if you fall of exhaustion, that is not going to help anyone.
I'll fucking crawl. Don't worry, we'll get more and we build up, and when the Get come back with Olaf, we'll have a proper Guardian Corps to greet them. I promise.
It's not you who has to promise. It's the Warder.
Well,
That's
I
his
don't
job.
care. I'm the one here, not the Warder, and I'm making that fucking promise.
The Sept stands behind you, and if it doesn't, let me know.
Look, I know everybody is behind me on that. I mean, if you guys weren't, I would have been kicked out as soon as I returned from my rite of passage. Like, face it, if there was anyone up behind me, now, they could have pretty easily solved all of their problems. I mean, slicing my throat and dumping me to Gleaming Eye or the Get that follow them is not that hard to do. I know everybody is behind me because I wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Nah, if it had happened, Mother Larissa would have put you in her cart.
I've been in that cart.
Have you?
I know.
What's in the cart?
Oh god, there's a whole world in that cart.
What?
I heard there's a boathouse in that cart, although I have yet to go ahead and verify.
I haven't seen a boathouse, but I haven't seen a lot. She pulled me back out. She rarely leaves that cart out of her sight, and I was just very lucky. So I took a dive. And
I love you, Cinna.
there was just, I don't know, there was a lot of darkness, but I swear I heard voices.
Voices.
To
Amazing.
the voices of all those who went diving into the cart and got lost forevermore.
That might be
Only their voices, their bodies long, long since lost.
Oh, look at you. It was exciting. But I would definitely make sure that you have like a rope to climb back to the top, because one thing I'm pretty damn sure about is that that cart goes on forever.
Gaia, how interesting. Katori, the additional chiminage that we're offering spirits right now. I'm thinking about giving mine to Wendigo.
Oh. There, you see? It's not that hard.
What would you prefer?
Wendigo is not part of the Sept. Wendigo is not on Sept ground. We will offer hearts to Wendigo, who will apologize for the death of 2 of his sons later. Currently, we need to take care of the spirit of this Sept. I think that what we shall do is reenact a moon dance to gather the elements, the fire, the earth, the wind, and the water, to make a glorified dance to the moon. There will be us, and there will be the keepers.
That sounds wonderful.
Mm.
I feel I got to speak up when it goes ahead and mentions the set spirits. I remember a little bit back ago, we got the blessing of spring, and one of the conditions of getting that blessing is we needed to go ahead and extend the spirits' influences into the scab. Now I know that two gardens have already been set up, one by Olaf and I believe Ren. You had extended your favor.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently setting up a little bit of a cleanup project somewhere in the inner city. I think that'll satisfy a third garden. Once we're done satisfying all the spirits here that have been offended, would it be a good idea to start to ferry those guys over to extend the influence of the wild?
Mm. Indeed, that might be good. Well, that is on the list, but I feel that I'm going to have to go on people's ankles. Mm. I feel that the attention span of our sept is way too low.
How do you mean?
Well,
Uh,
only
quick pro quo, go ahead and send her the link. My messages are not showing up.
Hey. Yeah. So, he looks at Ren and says, "Well, only one cub did the chimage to Mouse. That being Ren, that being Mabe, whatever, that being Mabe, who did it for all the cubs when the whole point is to do it yourself as a group activity or just on your own." So I had to remind them about this, remind them of what has been asked for Chimera, and what they needed to check with Clashes with Destiny regarding their Chiminage. So, yes, and also I will talk to Owl. She gives me the ability to see Garu's depth towards the spirit.
Oh,
Yes,
interesting.
I intend to see that all debts are collected. Otherwise, well, I'm going to have to start to bite people's ankles, and not in a nice way. But yes. So, would you be so kind as to explain to me what happened in the city? And as to why you need a new face?
Ren's gonna roll for that to keep her composure. She does great. She's getting good at this.
she keeps you go for poker face, the pure Philodox poker face.
Exactly.
Please
It's
don't make
okay.
me roll.
I do not pierce thy poker face.
We went to get some records from City Hall to take a look and see if perhaps we could find some records that would only be available to the public through a great deal of paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
We found more than we bargained for. The mayor had a secret room, has a secret identity, and had some sort of worm-tainted magic mirror.
Mm-hmm.
We broke
What
the mirror and
secret?
fled.
What secret identity?
Out of character, I don't remember the name, but Ren has it, and she will tell it to Katori.
Mm-hmm.
So I will make a mental note of that name, and she'll go on her
Noted.
Google for later.
Mm. So, okay, she has other name.
Her,
Well,
apologize, Raya.
go on.
Her digital files are being protected by an individual Cinna has met personally. A gentleman of some power and wickedness.
I hate them once. Cinna starts to shiver, and as she's still lying down on her belly, kind of crawl back involuntarily a little bit.
I'm sorry, Cinna.
What do you mean by that?
We'll discuss it perhaps another time, Raya.
No, it's fine.
The man who
Yeah, go on.
tortured Cinna while she was
So, he is linked to this?
yes,
Mm,
closely linked.
I
fact.
see. Well, I think I will start to enact my plan then.
What is your plan?
Invade the mayor's dream and make her talk.
Be very careful. I don't know how they got my face.
Yes, it is true. No, actually, it's not there anymore. It just dissolved itself.
They would not need to get your face there if they went ahead and recognized you by some other means.
I don't know how. We were
Oh,
masked.
fuck! Ren, if they found out your name, if they just let it drop. That guy, and she's clearly not mentioning his name, he had pictures when I was there in that place. He had pictures of all of us.
Of course. The trouble is, no one saw. We were masked. We were gloved.
Did they mention your name? Did anyone?
The warrant has my name. Somehow they figured out who I was. They figured out that I was involved.
While you were there, did
No.
anyone call you by your name?
No, we were careful. We spoke no names.
From what I have heard, it was a fairly standard affair. All procedures were taking place to go ahead and leave no evidence behind.
Indeed, only the janitor's death. And he was the only witness. But she shrugs.
I don't
It
know.
wasn't enough. And that mirror, I showed you the woman. She
Yeah.
didn't even see my face. But it was enough.
Okay, where are we?
It's in the Umbra.
Okay. Lupita sort of walks into you guys, cursing.
I think we're
And-
basically at the border of the set. Because we didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's cursing and talking to herself.
Ren slips to her feet when she spots Lupita and gives her a gesture of welcome. She also takes a couple steps away from Cinna so that if Lupita comes towards her, she's not headed too close to Cinna.
Lupita will stop as she looks around, and as she sees people she doesn't know, Lupita burning two legs, and then she proceeds to hug Ren.
Ren hugs her back tightly, which is not normal behavior for Ren.
Yeah, Katori raise an eyebrow.
But behind Rin's back, Lucas is just gonna go ahead and like wave Katori Alex like just let her, It's good. It's cool. It's cool.
Ren settles back down to the ground and pats the ground next to her, inviting again.
She will sit beside him. Sort of quiet. She has big bags under her eyes, like she hasn't sleeping well. She looks like she isn't eating well also. She looks sort of a disgrace right now.
Are you the new cub?
Yes.
I am Katori. Commands the undying. Born on four-leg, the urge of the Uktana tribe, Adrian of the nation, keeper of the land, and alpha of the hunters of the lost. As he will point out to the others so that they can do their presentation thing.
Ren knows that Cinna's met Lupita before, so she glances at Lucas to see if he's been introduced.
He'll go ahead and smile and say, "It's good to see you again, Lupita."
Good to see you too.
And you might not have met Cinna in her prettiest form.
She nodded as she looked at the fluffy white wolf.
Cinna will
nodded.
Cinna will just move her head upwards, throwing it in her neck as a greeting, and then lower it down again. She's still not looking overly. She's looking rather tired, really, as she places her head back on her front paws, forepaws.
Front paws.
Yeah.
Forepaws is also actually correct.
Yeah. Awesome, because that sounds way nicer.
So get it right twice to be extra correct.
Yeah.
So, have you met your then father? Clashes with destiny.
She actually looks at Lucas because she's not well aware of Olaf's name.
Lucas goes ahead and clarifies, saying, Diraya Lupita here has been introduced to Olaf Dervisen Screams in Silence, Raya. Unfortunately, as you know, he has left the Sept for a little bit. She, I don't believe, has been introduced to Clashes the Storm, Raya, though.
No, I've been sort of wandering around.
Has anyone taken care of you yet?
In which sense?
Has anyone started to teach you anything? Has any of you other cub tried to explain to you who you are, what we are, how our society works?
Oh, yes, plenty of people have actually. Yeah. I'm just sort of struggling with the whole thing.
Hmm. Hmm. I see. Well, you. Hmm. You're arriving at a very interesting time, I'd say so. Hmm. Are there any questions that you wish to ask? Any subject that I can enlighten you with?
She opens her mouth, she closes her mouth. She opens her mouth, she looks at Ren, she closes her mouth. No, I don't think so.
Ren gives her a grin that's encouraging and fond. It's kind of hard to tell whether she's fond of Katori or fond of Lupita, but probably both.
Well, at sea that you know how to be a fish. That is a good thing. As he smirks.
I am sorry, I think I'm being the angsty new cub or something right now because I don't really understand how some things are going on, and she keeps quiet again as if not sure she should be speaking it.
Well, not understanding how things work is exactly why you're a cub. So at least you're doing that right.
Well, there is that.
Now learning how things work will make you an adult. Isn't that fantastic?
There is something. Perhaps you could give me another opinion. It's not an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Gaia.
Uh-huh.
Sort of makes a motion as if showing the place around. I just can't sense it or whatever.
Well, I mean, Hamids are not known to have a particularly good sense of smell. So you shouldn't worry about it. For Gaia, are you rather talking about the sept? Or do you want me to make you a speech about our mother? To explain to you who that is? I thought that as he turns to Ren, I thought that Hamids had like Gaian people, hippies.
Peas? Raya?
Hippies.
Hippies. Hipsters. In.
It's... I believe... And she glances at Lupita to make sure she's not overstepping her confidence. I believe part of the trouble is she's having trouble understanding what it is we go through all this for.
Lupita sort of nods as if agreeing with what Ren said.
Well, look around you. What do you see?
The honest answer.
There's no other kind of answer you can give.
Rare.
Well, the one that possibly won't have my face chewed. Like, there's that.
I'm sorry to say it, but I haven't understand anything of what you said.
I'm sorry. She said, an answer that won't get my face chewed, perhaps? Like, she's sort of doubting the honest answer will be the one that will keep her face in one part.
That's generally not the answer that I get. That's an interesting change. Well, around you, and he pats the ground, there is grass, there are trees, there are birds. What we call the wild, what Hamid's called nature.
Okay.
And you see that over there, as he points to the building that are entrapped in the webs. That over here is the land of a weaver. Land that is made out of rules, out of stasis. A land of Hamid where everything is registered, square, made of lots of squares and more squares. And inside this place, hidden beneath the surface, there's something else. Now, as being a Hamid, you probably saw bad people, drug addicts, violent Hamids, killers, madmen. Those, most of the time, are under the influence of a worm. The worm stands for corruption, destruction, perversion of everything that is right, everything that belongs to this world. Those two over there are what we're fighting against. We're trying to maintain the balance. We're trying to maintain Gaia's work alive. While the Weaver and the Worm use their Hamid agents, their Garu followers, and their spirits to either corrupt or change it to their liking. And you're a warrior of Gaia. Or rather, should I say, you're a warrior, because you're in a rune.
Katori,
Mm.
why do you fight? What is it that gives you strength to take another step when the forces of the worm are coming toward you? Why do you go toward the fight instead of away?
Mm. Because if I go away, I'm I'm gonna get stabbed in the back. Obviously. As he just he gives you this look of, yes, I'm having fun.
Ren is looking super,
But
like, frowny, but when Katori gives her that look, she just starts to laugh. She sits back and starts to laugh.
But the reason why I keep fighting on, well, because if I don't, well, who's gonna do it? I am feared. I am born lupus. I've been born in the wild. I've seen my home trampled, desecrated. The trees that could have grown strong, that could have grown to reach the sky, they've been cut down to be transformed into chairs, into books, into other material. The animals have been hunted down to the point where lupuses are starving. The river is turning black. The river is turning sour. The fish are dying or are being transformed by the product that I was dumped into the pure water. My sister was entrapped into a zoo, making a show out of her as if she was an exhibition, an animal to be shown, an animal for the entertainment of others.
Hansen will stand up at this point. I gotta do something.
Of course you do.
Cinna, before you go, I'm serious. I'll go ahead and pick up your shift so that you can, collect yourself back to your gin.
I'm fine. Don't worry, you don't need to pick up my slack.
Don't think about it like picking up the slack. Think about it like just doing a good favor for somebody.
Or better spreading the duties so that each of you is more effective.
Points to the Ren.
If the keepers are doing their rounds and we keep into good communication with them, then it should be fine. I'm gonna do mine. I'll see you guys later. And she'll turn around and jog off. One is gonna sit on her.
You get a wave. Lucas goes, she's gonna run herself ragged.
Over the pack links
I
and
know.
a strong, warm sense of affection and pride. There's a hint of worry with it too, but the general feeling is overwhelming for just a second.
While all of that happens, Lupita is just silent, looking at the grass and sort of listening first to what Kotori said and a little talk with Sina.
What was the very last thing you said, Emily?
I'm sorry. Let me try to sit so it the microphone sounds better.
There you go.
A
Mm-hmm.
little better.
Basically, she's just silent while Kotori speaks, and then when Ren speaks to Sina, she's just looking at the grass.
Mhm.
Listening, but just looking at the grass.
Tori, when we do the dance, I think it would be very valuable if Lupita could be there.
Dance?
She's a cub. I have given my proposal to the other cubs.
Will another pair of feet,
Another pair of feet can help, yes. However, it is also a good bonding experience for the cubs to help each other. So if they choose to make their own chiminage, she should go with them. But if she wished to come to the dance, she is welcome.
She just looks confused, as if she has no fucking clue what they're talking about, which is true.
You should come to the
Is
dance.
the confusion evident and obvious?
It is very obvious. She cannot lie well.
Okay. Lucas goes ahead and pipes out, "Oh yes, a dance. It's wonderful. A dance is freaking wonderful. We get to see all the elements go ahead and play around. It's fantastic. And the moon, oh dear lordy Gaia, the Luna, full brightness. You can even say that she goes ahead and sways just as well. It's wonderful to see. You'd like it."
Well, that didn't explain much of what it is.
He goes ahead and points to Kotori.
Well, okay. So, do you know about the spirits?
Ren has to take off, so she reaches over to give Lupita's shoulder a gentle squeeze, and she sends Kotori the same flood of affection that she gave Cinna, so both of them get it twice. She has a smile for Lucas, and she politely makes her excuses and slips out.
Lupita waves at her.
Bye.
So, does the cub know what spirits are?
The cub has been introduced to the idea of spirits, them being beings that live here in the Umbra that move about.
Well, let me tell you a little story. When someone fucks up, generally, people have to clean up their mess. When someone does big fuck up, then you have to do even more cleanup. The spirits currently are slightly angry with the Sept as a whole, because we feel they've been disrespected. That is something that you can understand, right? Being disrespected is unnerving.
Yeah, it is.
So when a spirit is like that, you can bribe them, shower them with gifts to say, "I'm so sorry, I'm being a dum-dum. Please forgive me. Please accept me back. I will never cheat on you again." Well, that's pretty much what a chiminage can be about. You want to please that spirit? Then you're going to give him a gift or something that will please him. And if it pleases him, then the spirit is going to like you back and scratch your back. Currently, we're having...
Doesn't like it?
Hmm?
And if he doesn't like it?
Well, if he doesn't like it, then the spirit is going to let you know, and he's probably going to slap your face and let everyone know that you're a dum-dum. Or he might just, depending on the spirit, he might, actually gives you a lot of trouble.
Nods.
Generally, dealing with the spirits is the work of the theaters, so you don't really have to worry about it. However, considering that, as I said, we're cleaning the mess, here is what I want you to do. You are currently residing within the cub cabins?
Yep.
Or you will be. You have to let mouses enter your room, and you have to feed them, share your space with them.
Doesn't actually sound difficult. Sounds reasonable.
Yes, but considering that you're new to this, I'm giving you this as a warning, because I know that sometimes homids, they scream a lot when they see mouses, and they start to take their broom and try to chase them away. And apparently blue cats are not very effective to this. And yes, Kotori is totally not making a Tom and Jerry reference.
Well,
Lupita nods. Well, it's actually the thing that the first thing that people asked me to do to actually make sense.
Okay, second one. Because as I said, we're cleaning a lot of mess. Find someone. Ask him to teach you something. And in return, teach them something that you know.
Okay. And that will be to please who?
Chimera, a spirit of enigmas and enlightenments. Those two, Great White Mouse and Chimera, are the spirit of the Sept. They watch over us.
Okay, I understand now.
And for the last one was what we were talking about. Currently, the Sept spirit are angry. So, we're going to give them an apology. For this, you can see with the other cubs. I told them that they could either join me and the Keeper and the Hunters to our chiminage, or that they could come up with their own. So discuss it with your colleagues, Maeve, Adam, Nicholas. Decide what you people prefer. Then your Denfather replacement will help you with this. If not, then I will make sure that you are able to do so.
Thanks a lot for all the information. And I will make sure to make all of it.
Yes. For the rest, I would advise you to find Nicholas. Considering you're Naroon, and he has more experience than you in that matter, he might enlighten you a little bit on how things work around. And also you will have a sparring partner.
Yeah, she doesn't look really, how do you say it? She
She doesn't
doesn't
look
really
very
seem that
enthusiastic about the idea.
yeah, she doesn't seem nothing enthusiastic about the wall around idea at any of it. So she just nod.
Hmm. Well, I think that should do for a basic lesson. Hmm. Oh, yes. If you want to be really fast regarding achieveage, generally offer gnosis. Offer some of your spirit essence. It works generally. It's just less personal.
I will remind it. Do spirits accept carvings, like wood carvings?
It solely depends on the spirit. Some spirits,
Some.
some spirit will accept it. Some spirit will be very pleased with an image of themselves being given to them. Others, they will not see the utility of this.
Would great mouse like to chew it? I don't know.
You have your own creativity. Do not hesitate to use it. Probably Great White Mouse will not chew it. However, adding mice's wood carving to her shrine might, be appreciated as a sign of differences.
She nods again.
As he stretches. All right. Lucas, we'll talk about more about the thing that you want to ask me.
That sounds like a perfect plan to me. We've all had a little bit of excitement. Some of us still have rounds to do. And if I should say, by your leave, I'll go ahead and walk away to do my keeper duties. And actually, he goes ahead and looks to Lupita. Lupita, would you like to see what I usually do when I'm not horsing around?
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Today's a free day for me, so I get to decide whichever shrine that I want to go ahead and Chinich to. I know that you haven't been around that long, but does anything go ahead and call out to you?
Not really.
Then you should go to Bear Shrine.
Oh. Big Brother Bear. Oh, he is quite a fun spirit to go ahead and give Chimage to. Come, follow. And Lucas is going to go ahead and start to walk off.
Lupita will follow him after bowing to Kotori because he has no fucking clue how to say bye to a bow.
Now, you see here, Lupita. Go ahead.
I was going to say he chuckles and then he looks sideways and he sees that apparently you are Raven, who are currently having a lot of fun with kinfolk. He's gonna have a look at this. And he trots off.
Okay. Lucas says, a bit more excited. So, the way I was taught to go ahead and offer Chimney to the sign is that you go ahead and take a salmon, and you lay it in front of the shrine. You take up the honeycomb, you do much the same, and then afterwards you go ahead and meditate for a little bit on how it is to be a big sleepy bear.
It sounds cool, actually.
All right. With that, I believe our scene will go ahead and end. Unless there's anything else.
Nope.
One.
I need to go to dinner.
Okay. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing. We will see you all again next time on the Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. Until then, bye.